Good morning, everyone. My initial intention is to welcome you and to help you to feel that you're not alone in this great time of change in which we're all living. I had the opportunity to reflect on how many years I've been a minister and how many years as a minister I've been giving lectures, and it goes beyond 50. So I won't tell you how old I am unless I have to tell you how old I am. But the point is that I have, in this morning, come to a place of feeling a difference, a change that is a part of what's occurring, and that is in what is being presented here today. The intention of what is being presented here today is to help each and every one of us come to a greater recognition of what opportunities we have, what choices we have, to see what has been, what is right now, and then perhaps to get a glimpse into the future, to get a feel for what is coming. So all of this has to do with accepting the change, because the change is here. I've heard many different people give their renditions on what they see as happening, but in this new reality, some people find themselves living alone. Some people find themselves with family, some with friends, some are in a state of transition, and all of us are experiencing this in what is known as isolation, lockdown. So look at this and see, where are you and how are you relating in this state of isolation? If you look at it from one perspective, you see, wow, it's like the rising sun. There's no turning back. Only a gradual journey into the new day. So we look and we see that in just a few short weeks, our world seemed to turn upside down. Many people find themselves as if they've fallen into an alternate reality, and they don't necessarily recognize it. We hear reports around the world, as well as we find ourselves involved in and witness to, people joining together in a common purpose. They're uniting in this isolation to protect the vulnerable, to uplift each other. And all the while, underneath this, there's an uncomfortable feeling. It's kind of hard to describe. Sometimes it seems close and yet out of reach. Perhaps you find yourself at times yearning for the way things were, and also fearing the way things will be. For all of us, there's been a loss of the familiar. We've lost a sense of normalcy, of human connection in the way that we're used to. And please do take this last part as a frame of reference, what we're used to. I pause from this for a moment just to help you to realize what was will not be. Its day has come and gone. Where we're heading is to something else. And because of this feeling of a loss of the familiar, stop now, think. What is loss? It's an absence of something. And many times when we either anticipate losing something or it's already occurred, we experience grief. So right now, part of this is an anticipatory grief that arises from the future of uncertainty. Now, let's bring this forward. With a virus, And I say this deliberately to help you to see that a virus is something that is unseen. There's a kind of grief that comes up, and it's confusing. There's a part of our mind that knows something is happening, and it often translates this unknown as bad because you can't see it. And this definitely breaks our sense of safety. But to go back to this virus, it's been called and it's been created into a pandemic. So let's look at this and see, is it a possibility that it's a plandemic? That there really is another behind the scenes involvement that is presenting this as it is being presented, and it is not an accurate portrayal? Something for you to toss around. Allow yourself to look again and see, am I capable of going beyond what has been given to me to believe and look and see that there might be something else here? So, let's look at this now because we're all experiencing this grief. This sense of grief, whether it is for what is already lost or for what might come, sometimes it surrounds us. It engulfs us. Grief is like an ocean. Sometimes it's calm, and sometimes it's overwhelming. But do look at this and see that this can affect your clarity so far as being present and being aware of what actually is happening. So when you're under these influences, of course, you're caused to think, go the what ifs. What if I'm pondering my decision to stay in isolation in the way that I'm experiencing it? Okay? And these thoughts are flashing through my minds of the possibility of loved ones passing on during this time, of me perhaps having my own mental health decline under the effects of this. Worst case scenarios suddenly seem to loom like they're here and now. A mode of catastrophe overwhelms me and takes over my faculties to where I see my world crumbling all around me in my imagination, in the ashes of my life. Hot embers falling all around. Then I catch myself and I say, oh, wait a minute. This is not an accurate depiction of reality, of neither the here and now, nor of the future. You know, look and see now. What I'm talking about is thought coming in and flooding your mind, and this kind of thought, negative thought. Okay. It presents itself. And I'm not suggesting that you ignore it, but at the same time, I'm also not suggesting that you let it take the reins of your life and lead you crashing away into the complete and utter realm of fear. I mentioned thought. There have been many people who have come before us who have had a recognition of reality and have brought that recognition forward in different things, as he said. Shakespeare said there's nothing good or bad. But thinking is what makes it so. So look at this now and see that much of this has to do with thoughts that are entering into our awareness. So you can catch yourself in that and let go of the negative and make a shift and say, okay, I know I've got to look for the good. I have much to be grateful for. And this means that you're making a shift in looking and seeing what you recognize as a different reality entirely. So you're looking and you're saying, all right, there is a change here. It is happening. But I don't have to see this change as only being a negative with negative results. I can look again and open myself and say, my goodness me, just in the brief time that all of this has occurred, the earth itself has responded positively. The air has cleaned up. The oceans have shown signs of cleaning up. There is a freshness, a brightness that's coming about because humanity is not out there messing it up like humanity was. So a benefit of isolation reveals itself in how we have been impacting our natural world to the point of its destruction and our own demise, and now presenting the opportunity for us to look for the good. And when we look for the good, to find it. And then when we find it, cause it to come alive by praising it. So really that look for the good and praise it becomes a living reality if we choose to live the reality to where, my goodness, a breath of fresh air now takes on new meaning. And it's something that instead of it just happening with our mind off somewhere, we actually breathe in the air and enjoy it. We listen and we hear the call of birds. We remember that the waves are still crashing methodically against the beaches of life. And we feel the gentle caress of the breeze. This is an incredible world in which we're a part of. This accepting the change, if we choose to consciously be a part of this, we can experience the incredible world in which we are a part of. We can experience the miracles blooming from the earth to the sky. Hey, the truth is, our lives are not the same as it was a day ago, a week ago, a month ago. Yet, it never is. We've lost sight of that in saying, oh my God, I wish things were the way they were. Never is. It always is in a state of now. All I can do is accept each new moment, each new development, and each new decision, and make the most of life. I can send out love to the world all along my way. And I, like you, each day, there are times when I listen to my emotions, I engage with them, I let them be heard, and then the ones that do not serve me, I let them go into the abyss of this mysterious universe. I let the universe take care of it. You remember the Beatles and all the different songs that they gave? They gave one that was right along these lines. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Sometimes it requires of us to change our voice and perhaps to bring it to a place of singing, sometimes to a place of poetry, sometimes to a place of silence, where we enter into an alternate reality, one that brings us up to the next level. Because, hey, the truth of the matter is when we step back and we just let thoughts come and go without attaching any personal significance to them, it's apparent we're not the thoughts. We're the witness of thoughts. So we see we're not this passing traffic, but the space in which the traffic flows. This space, which is who we are, need not become anything other than itself, but simply abide as itself, regardless of the passing parade. We are complete just as we are, and we need not be dependent on any temporary neural stream of thought energy to contract our infinite being and squeeze it into a cramped fictional narrative of me and mine. As a matter of fact, this change that is occurring is affording us the opportunity to break the shell of who we believe ourselves to be, of me and mine, and begin to open up to and explore the possibilities of our true nature. This is accepting the change from a place of recognition that this is not a bad situation, but rather it may be disguised as bad. And underneath the disguise is the infinite wisdom of life, bringing itself to our awareness, that we might look and see, now I can go beyond who I thought myself to be. I can go beyond who I believed myself to be. I can go beyond and see that I am not alone in doing this, but rather I am one of millions of people who are simultaneously looking and seeing this as a glorious opportunity to awaken to the next reality that's awaiting our recognition. The age of enlightenment, the age of Aquarius. But it does mean that we have to be willing to face our fears and see them for the energetic interference that they truly are and move beyond them. So, like I said, I'm starting to look at these opportunities that we have together on Sunday morning when we can get together and we can appreciate who we are and who we are becoming. And in that appreciation, see that we truly are rising to the occasion in this that is called isolation, and seeing it as opportunity to awaken. So if you're like me, you also feel at times, I sure do need all the help I can get. Well, guess what? It's there, ready and available. Whether you call them angels, you call them guides, you call them teachers, you call them beings of light in the next dimension, they're there. And they're ready, willing, and able to help us help ourselves. So please, see that you are surrounded by such beings. Call upon them and then be receptive. That you then take what you receive, you integrate it into your awareness, and you live it in your life so that you get the witness of what you're living as a confirmation as to your recognition. Look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye for now.